I've had her in more than one occasion telling us that if we have issues with judicial officers, we know where to take them. But I want to ask you, Madam Chief Justice, as the head of the third arm of government, before you ask us as leaders who are only representing the views of the people to bring more complaints and petitions, please deal with those petitions, complaints and memoranda that are already before the Judicial Service Commission and also in the office of Ombudsman.
Hii maneno ya Judiciary, Your Excellency, is because you have said you will fight with the corruption. And you have said you will fight with the corruption in the legislature, in the national government, in the private sector, in the county government, and in the judiciary. The rest of this other group, hawajaongea, it's only the judiciary. And I think my very good sister, Lady Justice Koome, even her predecessors did better. At least Dr. Willie Mutunga and Maraga confessed and are on public that there is corruption in the judiciary. She is even unable to do that. It's very unfortunate. And I attended both the function of Dr. Willie Mutunga and the one of Maraga. Her only message is Pitieni Barabara. Your Excellency, the two leaders will agree with me that in the 8 years I was the leader of majority, and I want the people of Kenya to hear, we lost close to 17 cases, bills that we have passed, both in the Senate and the National Assembly. And the reason why we lost those cases was a very important constitutional principle called public participation. So from the lower court to the Supreme Court, they were telling us, Parliament, you must make sure public participation is critical to legislation. Juzi, 3-bench judge on this housing levy said, go back, do public participation, and then the law will be okay. But the same judiciary that over and over and over were telling us, and it's true, it's in Article 10, that public participation is central to legislation. A judge in Kisumu is telling Parliament, don't do public participation. And even those lawyers you have seen, I look at those lawyers. It was more like a Azimio rally, Azimio demonstration. You could tell the faces. I think the only senior counsel was Kalonzo. There was no senior counsel. There was nobody. You could tell. And Your Excellency, this corruption in the judiciary is an institution. The Omtata, the brokers, the cartel cannot go to the judiciary without the lawyers providing the conveyance. So Your Excellency, even universal health care, housing was in the manifesto of when TNA and URP joined. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in 10 years with the Deputy President, they were unable even to make amendments, and I can confirm as the leader of majority, to the even NSSF Act, to the NHIF Act. Kibaki could not transform our country because of court orders. Uhuru Kenyatta, President Uhuru, and Deputy President then, President Ruto, could not do it. And somebody has to do it. President Ruto from 1st of January this year. And Your Excellency, I am happy. Be consistent. They want you to leave it and run away. You know, they want you to run away the way Kibaki ran away. They want you to leave it, you run away the way President Uhuru ran away. You are not talking about the independence of the judiciary. By all actions, you stood with the independence of the judiciary.
Your Excellency, mimi ni member ya LSK, but I want to assure you, kuna uchaguzi ya LSK inafanyika very soon. Tutasafisha hiyo nyumba kwa sababu kuna uchafu. Tutachagua wale watasimama na agenda yako. Wale walifanya maandamano hatuwajui, because hawa ni extension na appendix ya wale ambao wanapinga serikali yako, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, kwa mambo ya fertilizer, kule Nandi tumezalisha ya kutosha, sisi tunatoa chakula ya kutosha, bei ulitupea mzuri, sahi tunauza mahindi 90 kilos 4,000. Your Excellency, under leadership of Rigathi Gachagua, through guarantee minimum returns, Your Excellency, tunaomba mahindi ishuke from 90 kilos to 50 kilos, kama ile nafaka ingine, so that we can get value, Your Excellency. But we are proud for the first time tumepata fertilizer 2500 Your Excellency, na hiyo ndio tunashukuru Mungu Your Excellency. Ya mwisho kwa mambo ya judiciary, Your Excellency, nilikuambia juzi usikubali mtu ajaribu kuandika manifesto ile uliuzia hawa wakakupea kura, na hiyo ina include mahakama. Mimi niko na very simple proposal. Hawa wananchi wanataka basari, barabara na mambo ingine. Your Excellency, hiyo pesa ya 23 billion unapea judiciary, kata nusu tuweke basari, tuweke barabara. Nimesikia wabunge wanaomba.
Hii mambo yote tunafanya ya Kenya, the transformation of our country. I want to promise the people of Kenya that the transformation of our country is not going to be delayed, is not going to be derailed, is not going to be sabotaged by incompetence of leaders or vested interests of people who want Kenya to be status quo, the beneficiaries of what is going on, or is not going to be damaged by corruption. We are going to be firm, we are going to be clear, we are going to be decisive. Because for far too long, Kenya has been held hostage by incompetence, vested interests, and corruption. And I want to be very clear that going forward, it doesn't matter. We cannot keep complaining about countries that were with us, but today they are way ahead of us. We cannot continue talking about Singapore. We cannot continue talking about Malaysia. We cannot continue talking about Korea. Even as recently as China. China 30 years ago was maybe lower than Kenya. Today, they are lending to us. We cannot continue that trajectory. Kenya is a country with great potential. It is this moment in history that we are going to unlock the great potential that Kenya holds. And we are going to make the necessary decisions to provide the necessary leadership for Kenya to move forward. We are going to deal firmly with vested interests and impunity, and we are going to deal decisively with corruption in whatever shade, in whichever institution. So,
on Thursday, this coming week at 2:15, I'll personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina for her removal from the judiciary for misconduct and corruption. Against the rules of evidence, where he who alleges must prove. We made an application to cross-examine the investigator, akakataa kwa sababu anajua there is no case na evidence tuko nayo vile ilifanyika. So